The Bible is a collection of many books, from the Old Testament to the New Testament, and among them, the book of Revelation stands out as one of the most debated and most criticized writings in all of Scripture. In today's video, we're going to take a closer look at Revelation and fact-check some of the major controversies surrounding it. We will explore authorship criticism, why some scholars say it's not a future prophecy, literary structure problems, and why many people call it a fantasy book. So without any delay, let's begin. Authorship doubts. Traditionally, Christians believe that John the Apostle, one of Jesus' original 12 disciples, wrote the book of Revelation. According to this belief, John received visions from God while he was exiled on the island of Patmos, and he wrote those visions as the book we now call Revelation. However, scholars argue that there is no concrete evidence to prove that the author was the Apostle John. Their criticisms are based on several observations. 1. The Greek style is different. Revelation is written in Greek, but its Greek is unpolished, grammatically inconsistent, very different from the Greek used in the Gospel of John. The Gospel of John, which Christians believe the apostle also wrote, uses smooth, poetic, and well-constructed Greek. In contrast, the Greek of Revelation is rough and sometimes grammatically unusual. Scholars say this difference is strong evidence that the same person did not write both books. 2. Different vocabulary and theology. Revelation uses words, expressions, and phrases that are not found in the Gospel of John or the letters of John. The ideas about Jesus, God, judgment, and salvation also appear differently. This suggests the writer of Revelation had a different style, background, and theological mindset than the Apostle John. 3. The author only calls himself John. In the book, the writer introduces himself simply as John. He never claims to be John the Apostle, the disciple of Jesus, the beloved disciple. Scholars argue that if he were truly the famous apostle, he would likely have identified himself more clearly. Based on all this, many scholars conclude Revelation was likely written by a Christian prophet named John of Patmos, not by John the Apostle. Not a future prophecy. Christians interpret Revelation as a prediction of the future, especially the rise of the Antichrist, the Great Tribulation, the second coming of Christ, and the final judgment. However, most modern scholars argue that Revelation is not mainly about the distant future, but about the historical situation of the first century. Why scholars see it as a first-century book? 1. The number 666 points to Nero. The famous number 666 is often interpreted as the number of the beast, Antichrist. Scholars point out that when the name Nero Caesar is written in Hebrew letters and then calculated using ancient numerical values, the total equals 666. This suggests that the beast was not a future world leader, but a coded reference to Emperor Nero, who brutally tortured and killed Christians. 2. The harlot on 7 hills fits Rome. Revelation describes a woman sitting on 7 hills. Rome was famously known as the City of 7 Hills. This strongly indicates that the imagery referred to Rome, not a future nation. 3. The persecution described matches Nero and Domitian. The themes in Revelation, persecution, emperor worship, and the suffering of believers, fit perfectly with Emperor Nero's violent attacks on Christians. Emperor Domitian's demand that people worship him as a god. These details match first-century history, not modern times. Literary structure issues. Revelation does not move from beginning to end in a clean timeline. Instead, the same events, judgment, destruction, war, cosmic signs, happen again and again in different symbolic forms. The themes of 7 seals, 7 trumpets, 7 bowls appear to be variations of the same judgment events, repeated for emphasis. Abrupt transitions. One moment John is in heaven, the next on earth, then seeing beasts, then angels, then dragons. The transitions are sudden and without explanation. This complex structure makes it difficult to interpret Revelation as a simple prophecy. Because Revelation uses beasts, dragons, supernatural armies, and cosmic battles, many modern scholars compare it to fantasy-style storytelling. They argue that the imagery feels closer to symbolic drama than literal prophecy. This leads critics to view Revelation more as a visionary narrative full of metaphors rather than a real account of future events. The book of Revelation is powerful, but also highly controversial. Critics argue that its imagery is symbolic and difficult to interpret. It was shaped by the persecution of Christians under the Roman Empire, and its violent visions can easily be misused or misunderstood. Believers argue that Revelation reveals God's ultimate victory over evil. It offers hope and strength to those facing suffering, and its message is spiritual and prophetic, not merely literal. What do you think about the book of Revelation? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you.